Welcome back to the FC25 Manchester City rebuild. In the last episode, our goalkeeper, who has been our goalkeeper for 9 years, Ederson, did leave. And it seems to me like Diogo Costa is top of City's list to replace him. We've got a budget of €75 million. That is what he has as a release clause. 96 kicking, 86 reflexes, good handling, good diving and so on. And he's currently under offer from Bayern Munich and Chelsea. They are currently offering him a deal themselves. They're negotiating with FC Porto. Bayern want him to replace Neuer. Chelsea want him as their new number one as well. It is a big target and a big coup if he managed to sign Diogo Costa. And we believe that he is worth the €75 million release clause. Porto aren't really willing to negotiate. We are just going to go in there for a 25-year-old goalkeeper at his level and trigger that release clause straight away and win the race for Diogo Costa to be Pep Guardiola's new number one and the man who's going to be between the sticks of the City side for the future, the significant future of this club. Portugal's number one, FC Porto's number one as well, a young goalkeeper who is coming towards the time in his years where he needs to make that big move, I think, to the top 5 leagues. Like I said, Bayern wanted him clearly. Chelsea wanted him as well as their number one. I mean, if Bayern Munich believe he's the man to replace Manuel Neuer, he's clearly a top quality goalkeeper. So there he is. He will wear the number one shirt here at Manchester City. Replacing Ederson, it's Diogo Costa, who's the new number one. Another signing, another goalkeeper from the Portuguese league. €75 million paid. That is what his release clause is. And I think Diogo Costa can have a massive impact on this City side. I think he's actually could be a better shot stopper than Ederson. He's nowhere near as good on the ball. That is something that we're going to find hard to replace. But to have him in the side is fantastic. And I am going to trust in him. Build a defence in front of him that hopefully can win lots of trophies. And one Portuguese player coming in, another one leaves to a rival of FC Porto. It is Bernardo Silva. Manchester City can confirm he will return to Benfica on a permanent deal. 1 year left on his contract. Benfica agreed to pay €30 million for Bernardo Silva. It's not a lot of money really for a player who's valued at 70 at 31 years of age. But all I can say is thank you for his amazing years at Manchester City and what he offered the club. I mean, again, he's another one of these absolute superstar signings that without him, Manchester City would not be the side they would be. Thank you, Bernardo Silva. Well, some more big transfers going through. Matt Guy has moved from Crystal Palace to Napoli for €55 million. We have also seen a few other big moves in the transfer market. Sergi Dada has moved to Borussia Mönchengladbach for €26 million. And the big one is Inter paying €127 million for Baena from Villarreal. Burnley have signed Valentin Gomez in the Premier League from FC Braga, or CS Braga. He joins for €17 million, 25-year-old fullback. New signing for Scott Parker's side. The episode doesn't stop there with the big departures because Manchester City can confirm as well Mateo Kovacic, who we said could stay. It depends on the offer we receive. Well, we received a €35 million offer from Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia, and they decided to take Mateo Kovacic off our hands. That's a big deal, a good bit of money in the transfer kitty for the budget that we have got of around €300 million for this season. And we don't stop there because City can also confirm that Matheus Nunes, maybe one of the biggest flops in Manchester City's history, has agreed to join Bournemouth on a permanent deal. Bournemouth agreed to pay just over €35 million. They paid around €38 million for Matheus Nunes. He joins them as their new midfielder, a side that are pushing up the table. So big sales there that we've made so far. Like we said, we've got a transfer budget this year of around €300 million. That's not including the players we do sell. And I think we're now only one player away in midfield that is looking at signing a new central midfielder. One midfielder away from completely finishing this side, and we know what we're looking for. We're looking for an absolute midfield engine to replace that engine that we've lost in Kovacic and Nunes. Someone who's technically higher gifted, but someone who's in the mould of a Jolinton maybe, a Bruno Guimaraes, someone like that, a Carlos Baleba, an Ederson at Atalanta. They are the targets for that new midfield role now. So the kickoff for the new Premier League season is now upon us. We're about to get into it, kicking things off at home against Nottingham Forest. The other side will be opening the Premier League season again. So we are playing on the opening day of the Premier League. I think it's a Friday night game. So it is Friday night football, Manchester City versus Nottingham Forest at home, kicking off this new Premier League season. Hopefully a lot of the new signs can play, or some of them anyway. You've got to remember Pep Guardiola's got to rest players because players have just played the FIFA Club World Cup not too long ago either. They're still on holiday, so that makes a big difference as well. That's how the Premier League table is looking, of course, we don't know. anything from this. This is just in alphabetical order. The one thing I like to pick out was the promoted sides. Leicester City somehow scraped to stay in the Premier League, didn't they, last year? So Leeds United have come up, they're back in the Premier League. Burnley come up as well, they're back in the Premier League also. And the final one is West Brom. Against all odds, they come up through the playoffs. They're in the Premier League as well. So 3 new sides, 3 sides not really new, but been there before. Whether they can stay up in the Premier League, we're not entirely sure. And we're about to kick off the Premier League season. Forest at home. Let's hope Pep Guardiola's side can impress. Well, after FIFA Club World Cup and having players having a bit of a break, we don't want to throw players in too much straight away. So we have rotated heavily today for Nottingham Forest, with some new signings making their debuts. 3, in fact, in the starting 11, and a few missing out of the starting 11 as well, and missing out on the squad today. So Diogo Costa, our new number 1, starts in goal. Is a back 4 of Rico Lewis, Manu Akanji, Aboukadir Kusanov, and also Cambiasso. A debut for him at right back today. He's going to start on the right and Lewis on the left. That seems like a bit of a difference in formation where we should be playing. It should be the other way around, but we are going to go with it that way, I think. Although I'm happy to change it maybe, put Docker on the right and Simmons drifting in. We might swap that round actually. I think I'll swap that round tactically. It's going to look more that way. Doku's going to come off the right, in fact, today, and Simmons off the left. That's the way it's going to go. Rodri captains the side. He's back. He did suffer an injury during the Club World Cup, but it was only a bit of a knock. He's back, and he's starting today the opening game of the Premier League season alongside Nico Gonzalez in that midfield too. Doku on the right. Xavi Simons makes his debut off the left for Manchester City today. Hopefully, he can show the impact he can have on the side. And Omar Mouche partners Oscar Bob up top. Bob a -8 in that position, playing as that sort of false 9, that sort of off the striker situation that Marmouche has been playing. We're trying to convert Bob to a striker so he can play that position a little bit better. Won't get a -8. On the bench, we've got Erling Haaland, who is in the side. Surely can bring him off the bench. I don't want to run him to the ground. Savinho, Makati, Echibede, Adam Wharton could make his debut. Nico Riley, Nathan Ake, Vita Heiss, and also Stefan Ortega on that City bench. No Ruben Diaz. No some big players. No Phil Foden. They're both rested. No, some others as well. No Jeremy Frimpong either. Those are all rested today as well. We don't want to throw players in straight away too much. It is the opening day. We've had the FIFA Club World Cup so soon before. And I hope for that. I mean, this side is still strong enough. These players are still strong enough to do the business here today. Westgate Stadium, Premier League opening day of the rebuild. This is the official rebuild of this Manchester City side. And a lot of the new players are in there. Diogo Costa is in, the new goalkeeper, and some others. Cambiasso making his debut as well as Xavi Simons. Hopefully, the Kevin De Bruyne replacement can impress. So Manchester City versus Nottingham Forest. Forest had a bit of a drop-off, didn't they, towards the end of the season. They were in a top 4 position. They didn't finish in the top 4, unfortunately for them. Very difficult to do so. In real life, they may do, but on this game, some teams really drop off. Crystal Palace dropped off massively and ended up getting themselves relegated. I don't know how Leicester escaped, but they did. They picked up points here, there and everywhere, it seemed to be. In Crystal Palace, I mean, the quality they have, they lost so many players as well over this summer. Adam Wharton, of course, we've brought in. Eze has left the club. I think Goy is leaving the club as well. Mateta has left the club. They were still of all the players. City vs Forest in the opening day. Not the strongest City side you can put out there, but they've made some good signs. Sadio Mane's experience. Destiny a doggy from Spurs. Let's see how they do line up today. Nottingham Forest. Well, here is the Nottingham Forest side then that looks to try and battle once again for top 4 in this very competitive Premier League. In goal starts Matt Sells. He's a back 4 of Sofalt, Merio, Milenkovic and Udogi, captained by Dominguez and Schlager in the midfield too. Gibbs White, quality player, with Alanga and Sadio Mane on the wings. Up top is Chris Wood. Some good options on the bench like Callum Hudson-Odoi and so on as well. Manchester City versus Nottingham Forest here. It's live from the Etihad Stadium. Opening day of the Premier League and an early win there by Marmouche, and City straight in possession. Good to see Rodri back. His first appearance at the Etihad since the injury. Here is Wood. His options open up here for Alanga. Morgan Gibbs-White is one of the options to replace Kevin De Bruyne this summer. Sadio Mane, a tackle in the box there by Rico Lewis, who's done really well. And he gets it away to Jeremy Doku. Nico, behind to Cambiasso, didn't really make the run quick enough there. Sells clears it long and away towards that full-back area. Manu Akanji flicks it on to Chris Wood and puts City in some trouble here. And here's Sofalt. Kusanov can't intercept that one. And here's Anthony Alanga away from Cambiasso. Wood. There is Akanji to make the block behind for a corner. That is a bit weak on the counter from City. Manu Akanji making the wrong choice there. Just has to head it away in the end. Kusanov with a foot in. Sadio Mane. Lewis across as well. On Gibbs-White here. Pulls the trigger. And a first save for Diogo Costa, the new replacement for Edison. City's new number 1 goalkeeper. Has to do better than that, really, in that situation when he's got Simmons to one side of him. And here's Alanga away from 1 or 2. And he's shot here by Alanga. Wide the post, but Manchester City They look a bit shaky here, Pep Guardiola's side. Pep Guardiola, I think, probably noticed that. Oh, tries to flick one through to Cambiasso. Completely misses the pass. That's poor by him. The space for Anthony Elanga's there again. And City in trouble again in this wide area. Elanga running at Kanji. Past him. Kusanov against Chris Wood. Tackling the box by Kusanov. He's nice and strong. And he does really well there, the centre-back. Really good play. I mean, he could be a starter this season. Oh, through a good gap here. Gibbs White. White to Sofal. Cross in. Chris Wood is there. Header by Chris Wood. He's wide of the post and easy dealt with by Diogo Costa. That's half-time, 0-0. Well, I don't expect this side to gel perfectly and be amazing to start the season. We're playing a certain way. We've got other players to add to this side. Xavi Simons, he's been quiet today. Half underway here at the Etihad. Well, Erling Haaland is on the bench for Manchester City. Savinho and some of the really high-quality players that City will look to bring on, I'm sure. And towards Cambiasso. Those two have not really combined well on this left-hand side today. You can tell they've not played together before. And a ball in behind Cambiasso. And he's Sofal. And Nico in there with a foot in. He's away. And Gibbs White's got a chance here. And Morgan Gibbs White. And it's a brilliant save by Diogo Costa. Debutant today in goal. Catches the feet of the goalkeeper. He keeps it out. Big save. Smothers it. Run at Cambiasso. I mean, Elanga's blisteringly quick. And he's shown it there. And Sofal across to Chris Wood here. And City do concede. And Nottingham Forest had the lead at the start of this one. Well, City haven't had the most amazing start to this game. I think we played well in the early stages. We've started to drop off. Anthony Elanga past Cambiasso with a pace. Kusanov's not ready. I mean, that's the Kanji's man. What is the Kanji doing for Chris Wood defending him? And Diogo Costa conceded his first goal in his first game for City. Chris Wood led us that into the top corner. There's no chance for the goalkeeper. And it's 1-0 Nottingham Forest. Don't want to run him into the ground, but we've got to get 3 points here. Opening day of the season at home at the Etihad. That's expected of the City side. Savinho. Marmouche. Into Haaland. Onto Xavi Simons here. Simons across. To Cambiasso. Back to Simons. Down the box here. Penalty Manchester City. Haaland comes on. Haaland's going to get a penalty straight away. Xavi Simons taken down by Captain Dominguez. Good play by him. It's a late tackle on him. The Dutchman gets fouled. It's clear as day. It's clear as day. Xavi is fouled there. Penalty Manchester City. I mean, Marmouche stands up here. But it's going to be Erling Haaland. He's on. He's going to take it. There's no doubt about that. Erling Haaland against Matt Sells. Erling Haaland sends him the wrong way. And City are back in this game 1-1. Off the bench. And to score the first goal of the season for the Manchester City. Who else than Erling Haaland? Steps up from the spot under pressure. Dispatched it into the bottom right-hand corner. And was there any doubts? I don't know. Such a fantastic penalty taker. Look at that, steps up. No problems at all. Matt Sells. I mean, if Sells goes the right way, does he even save that? It's into the side netting from Erling Haaland. It's 1-1 City level. Brilliant goal. And City back in this one now. Schlager. Gibbs White. Good pace. Akanji's completely lost more on Gibbs White there. 2-1. Manu Akanji there. Really poor by Akanji. Chris Wood makes it 2-1. And from the equaliser to minutes later, we concede again. Manu Akanji just completely doesn't read Chris Wood. He's lost. Reads Gibbs White's turn. Chris Wood's away from Kusanov. What is that defending from City? Nothing Diogo Costa can do. Simons. Xavi here. Good play from Xavi. Xavi running, twisting. Xavi turning. Plas Milenkovic. Xavi. Xavi hits one into the hands of Sells. Should he have crossed it? Gibbs White. Well, defeating the opening day for City. Would be a bad start to the season, wouldn't it? A draw. It's probably the best we can hope for at the moment. Chris Wood's open again here for the hat-trick. Chris Wood for the hat-trick. Great save by Costa. Smothers it. City defensively are all over the place. Nico slow to get to the Savinho pass. Sadio Mane. Kusanov misses the challenge. Mane! And over the bar by Sadio Mane. 80th minute on the clock. We've got to make changes here. In behind to Xavi Simons. It's not the pass he wanted, really. Medio, and he's flicked it away from Haaland brilliantly, the Brazilian. Gibbs White, what a ping through. Across the box here. Well read by Ake. Shot by Gibbs White, he's past the post, but Ake seems to have picked up an injury here. Hopefully he's okay. He's just come on the field, Nathan Ake, and he has picked up an injury, which is... Oh, Rico Lewis. Shot here! Costa with another save. Up and over the bar, but this City side... I can't wait to get the first teamers in there. Nico Williams. Gibbs White. Ake. That's so bad from Ake. Gibbs White. It's more than Gibbs White's brilliant again from Diogo Costa. Had a great game on his debut, to be fair to him. Gibbs White past Ake. Cambiasso leaves him. Gibbs White. It's a great save by Costa again. And Ake away. And that is full time. Opening day of the season. Manchester City a 2-1 defeat to Nottingham Forest. Well, the new signings not really impacted quite yet. You've got to give time for this team to gel. But has City peaked, really? Have we peaked? Because that was not a good performance in the end. I mean, Ake's picked up an injury. And the performance was particularly poor from after the opening 30 minutes or so. Well, this is typical Nathan Ake and typical Manchester City. Ake on the opening day of the season, broken toe, is out for 3 months. So we've let John Stones go. We've stuck with 5 centre-backs. Vita Heis is there as well. But it's Kusanov, Diaz and Akanji now. I mean, if Ake's out for the season, Vita Heis comes in as a 4th choice centre-back. That shows the injury problems. I mean, Ake next season, we just didn't have enough to start fixing the central defence either. But next season, Ake's gone. And we're going to try and fix that central defence for sure. Well, with Nathan Ake injured for the next 3 months, I am looking to promote one of the players from the youth system or from the youngest system. And we were going to let Max Lane leave on loan, but the fact that Nathan Ake is going to be out now, I want to have 5 centre-backs because if Vita Heis, if Akanji gets injured, we know Akanji can get injured. That's certainly one of his problems. Then we are in trouble. So Max Lane's going to be sticking around and he's going to be a 5th choice centre-back while Ake is away. Then we'll look to loan him away and we're going to try and promise him the chance of playing first-team football this season, especially in cup competitions. We haven't got another left-footed centre-back. Kusanov, Diaz, Akanji, Heis are all right-footers, so a lane being left-footed could make a massive difference to this team. Well, it's a big race for Girona's Miguel Gutierrez. We can't make a move for him because we can't make transfers with Girona due to them being in a European competition for 2 years, although we don't need a new left-back, so that is fine. Bayern Munich and RB Leipzig have gone into talks anyway with him. Andres Christensen also moving to AS Monaco for a €36 million fee from Barcelona. He's a good move for them. And one more giant departure to add to this Manchester City season. It is Jack Grealish. City's club record signing has left Manchester City. We confirm Jack Grealish has joined Tottenham Hotspur on a permanent deal. Wishing you all the best, Jack. Jack Grealish leaves for around €55 million, which I think is about 47 million for a £100 million player. That is a good deal. 29 years of age. I think City got a really good move for him there to Spurs. And the money we've recouped, we're going to put right back into the side, of course, because we are looking for that central midfielder. And I've decided Guimaraes is too expensive, over 100 million. Carlos Baleba the same. But that man Ederson, who's valued at around €60 million, in fact, is out of contract at the end of this season. So Atalanta know they either sell him or they end up losing him on a free. Manchester City have said, we identified him as that midfield engine to come in to complement Rodri, Nico and Adam Wharton as well in the Manchester City midfield. He's been put through his paces in a medical and we have managed to pick him up for €45 million, around £38 million, maybe a little bit less. I think that is a really good signing. I mean, it's not so risky, that sort of money, if he doesn't work out, because he isn't quite the archetype Pep Guardiola midfielder. He isn't quite the technically gifted. He is technically gifted, but not the same sense as some others. For €45 million, I think we've brought in a top player who really can excel in that Manchester City side. He will wear the number 13 shirt. He is going to be a big part of Manchester City for the future of the club. I do believe at 26 years of age, he's the right age to come in and start in that Pep Guardiola side. And we end the episode with a big signing, with the Premier League squad now ready. The Premier League squad is pretty much built, isn't it? I'd love to go through it maybe in the next episode and see how much we spent on transfer deadline day, the squad we have built overall. But Ederson is a Manchester City player, so we've brought in Ederson, we've brought in Adam Wharton in midfield. In the fullback roles, we've brought in Andrea Cambiasso and Jeremy Frimpong. Goalkeeper-wise, we've brought in Diogo Costa and Loris Karius. And finally, the replacement for Kevin De Bruyne was Xavi Simons. Manchester City have been shrewd in the transfer market. I think we've made a good level of signs where a lot of younger players that are at the key stage in their career, not older players, not experienced, because we've got plenty of those. We've moved plenty of those on as well, actually. Players at that right stage of their career to go on to bigger things, 25, 26 years of age, and then younger ones as well. I'm excited about the squad we've got, and I'm excited about the season ahead, despite that poor result to start the season against Nottingham Forest. I think big things could happen in this career mode, especially in this first season, season 2, pretty much our first full season. Thanks for watching. Please like the video if you're not already. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of the 6 major signings we've made for the City side. And we'll see you guys for another episode next time.